Collective, it's been a while since I put out a longer video about the manifestation, and the last time I had the 20 signs before manifestation is near. I'm going to talk today about more about that and also give you an energy update, and I may pull out some cards later on as well. So lately there's been a lot of intense energy that's happening, and for me I can pick up that we are going through some massive changes and transformation. And when I talk about manifestation, I don't talk about just one thing, like maybe a typical one is a job, a change of job, or a change of environment maybe. I can talk about a complete changeover in your lifestyle. So lately I've been going through that, and there has been a lot of anxiety that comes with it. And that's part and parcel. Sometimes with manifestation, there are signs that tell you the universe is testing you. One thing is that sometimes you may have a sleepless nights, and you may wake up, say, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and you think, oh, have I been sleeping, or what's been happening? And then you may just wake up for about an hour and you may not come back to sleep. And then you get really tired. That time is the universe testing you and giving you some signs and just making you learn, because that hour in the morning is the quietest time where you can tap into the higher spirit. So that's the reason why, and I have put out a video on why we wake up between, say, I think it was 2 to 5 o'clock a.m. That's because we are more in tune with these energies, and throughout the day we tend to be less receptive because there's too many noises going on, and a lot of us may be at work or doing something. So that's the reason why. Another sign is that if you're going through changes, and because of that, to make way for the new changes, you are bound to come across issues with the old world. So a typical example would be that you come across your job that you no longer resonate with. So you may come across confrontation and conflicts with your superiors, and your energy is very different to them. So some people at work or your managers may also gang up with other people and go against you and compete with you. That's because they can pick up your energy. It's different. And sometimes because it's so different, it triggers them. And in return, they may trigger you. But if you're more grounded and you're working more and more on your spirituality, your energy becomes so high that you may start to begin less triggered. Previously, in many years before you were fully awakened, you used to get triggered a lot because a lot of people just did not respect you because you didn't have a very high self-esteem, and so you were co-creating with people of the same energy. Now that you are elevating, you're going to come across more and more issues, but know that this is only temporary. And just stay and remain grounded. A lot of inner work needs to be done to realize what's happening. Knowing that you're exiting the old world, the old matrix, and you're moving on to a higher energy level. So please look after yourself. If anything, stay hydrated, eat healthy, try and get as much sleep as possible. Whatever it takes, go out into nature, nurture yourself, and practice a lot of self-love. It is really important that no matter what happens externally, if people don't they mistreat you, you remain grounded and have a lot of self-respect and love, because obviously things are changing. It's like an earthquake. It's on shaky ground, or when we call in tarot, it's called the tower moment. So things have to be shaken up and broken down in order to make way for new. So Spirit is really rerouting you to make a new way for a new future and what I call the new earth. Many years ago, I had somehow predicted there's a change in earth. I had one day out of the blue, I just thought I was dreaming, but it was just in the middle of the day. I had visioned 2 different earths that we're in. We're still in the physical realm, but a group of people are divided on earth. There's a massive group of people that are still having to deal with the old earth and lots of things happening with problems. And that part of that world is very dark, and it's almost like a big storm coming, and lots of people are really scared. And then at the same time, I could see the other side. It's like the rainbow and bright light happening, where the people that have worked on themselves and spiritually helping to ascend are experiencing heaven and something that is truly magnificent. So that was about 20 years ago, where I started to visualize a new earth. And I didn't have any way of knowing what's happening. I just thought, am I dreaming, or what's happening to me? Am I drunk? No, I wasn't drunk. I was absolutely awake. So that was my premonition. Now, we're not here to tell people what to do. Obviously, we all have free will, but the more we work on, the better we're going to be, and the more we're going to be prepared for what's coming. We're obviously here, and if you're listening to this channel and watching my videos, you are already on your way to becoming a fully enlightened person. Sometimes it's not all rainbows and sunshine, of course. Spirituality is hard work. But the more we've worked on this, the better off we're going to be. It just means that at the moment we are still seeing a lot of the past that needs to be cleared up. Okay, so going back to a lot of the things that happens, the signs before a manifestation, you're going to still experience a lot of loss. The losses are to do with either relationships, job, a person's life, physically, and unfortunately, and also financial. Some of these might happen, and it may cause you to just feel all of a sudden very much shocked and traumatized. You could also feel disconnected because you just could not comprehend or get on with the rest of the world and the people. Now, please, if you ever come across that, please either message me and also seek professional help. I'm not a professional practitioner, but please go through a practitioner as much as possible to seek the best advice. Now, whilst we're still going through this, we still have to continue with our lives, and you might feel that lots of things are not going right. Just know that this is only temporary. Nothing stays forever the same. And that's the reason why things are shaken up now. It's the false foundation being shaken up, and Spirit is rerouting us to a better world. Something that is really conducive to us and our personal growth and our spiritual growth as well. You might also see a lot of repeated numbers. That's the Spirit's way of letting you know a message. Sometimes you might see signs through your clear abilities. I've talked about that in previous readings about all the clear abilities. Now, collective, I urge all of us to really focus on what clear abilities we have and continue working on them. A lot of my clear abilities have now starting to become very much enhanced. One of my abilities is able to predict what a person's going to do next. And I have some insight and knowledge, and I have a clear feeling as well at times on how the other person's feeling. And to the point that sometimes I get depressed because I can feel and hone in on their energy. Now, that's not something I can control, nor can I make them feel happier. It's just the way it is. But the more abilities we have, the more it's going to be beneficial to help not only ourselves, but to help others. Please have a look at, I think it's one of my playlists that I put down the clear abilities in. I think it's energy. I will put a link later on to help you find that particular videos. I have put out a few videos on that. Now, going back to the people that are not fully awake that you are coming across, or people that you're having challenge with, a lot of people are being blocked by you at the moment. That's not so much particularly to do with you, but I think it's the energy that Spirit has given. Spirit is deliberately blocking all contact with those people that you no longer resonate with, are no longer good for you either. So these are the people that you've had problems with energetically. Like, even if they're not fully blocked, they don't really have access to you. And if they do have access to you, say for instance, it's like a person you're trying to block that you're working with, the whole forces becomes absolutely very awkward. So that's Spirit's way of blocking them from coming across your field in your energy. So what I mean by that is that you've come across a problem with that person, and even though you work with that person, you used to interact with them a lot, all of a sudden, Spirit has put a block to it, making it very uncomfortable for you to communicate with that person. So this is designed for you to separate, and you go through your own lessons, and the other person just continue with their own path. A lot of the energy is very different, like between you and the other people. A lot of people are waiting for you to unblock them, but there's not a lot of chances that you will come across. That's because if you come across and unblock them, you're going backwards. So you're an asset to a lot of people, but they saw you very differently. Because of your nature, you're very empathetic and very kind, and you have a lot of time for a lot of people. But a lot of people took kindness for weakness. So be aware of that obviously, yes, you are giving and unconditionally. But please do not overextend yourself to be overkind to certain people, and just to take a step back and build a little bit of boundaries. It's not like you are completely not helping them, but be aware that other people need to help themselves. So you are now taking a lot of steps back and be a bit from a standpoint. You used to go out and help everybody. Now, all of a sudden, you've gone quiet, which is good. But a lot of people are just getting weary as to why all of a sudden you're being very quiet. So it's time up for them, for these people. Time's up because you can no longer be in their lives. So all of a sudden, you might not hear from them. You may not see them for a while. And okay, so you are a very rare commodity to other people. You can't be copied. So without saying this arrogantly, a lot of people will be very sorry if they lose you or they don't have anything to do with you, because you are very rare. You can't be copied. You're no competition to others. They can pick up your energy, but sometimes you can't see your own energy, and you think that you're wondering why they're so upset with you, or some people are not very nice to you. That's because you have put out a mirror in them. You mirror what they don't want to see. So that's why you can sometimes come across people that don't want to look at themselves. They get very confrontational with you. It's an awkward kind of energy. Just have to have a look. I'm going to read some cards to you, and just to let you know what's going on and what you may be able to look out for. So just read out some cards. Another thing is that if you are not happy at the moment, sometimes you might feel a bit depressed. That's because you are still able to pick up energy from others. Because out of the blue, if sometimes you get upset, like you wake up and you feel a bit upset, it's because other people are trying to get into your energy. So be aware of that. Okay. I can pick up some abundance card at the moment. You're going to be financially well off. You embody a very mature person, and if you're working on your business, things are going to go really well. It just needs you to focus. I've also got a card that is the Emperor, which is a protection card, and it's full of stability for you. You're full of focus, and you're very logical. And you also might meet somebody that embodies this kind of character. It's like a father figure, and this person's full of stability. If you're not looking for anybody, it may mean just that you are encountering people that is on the same level as you, being very practical, logical, and very much full of structure and quite grounded. Now, also, I mentioned about the Tower moment. The Tower moment is what I said before about the structure being brought down. Now, if you hadn't been working on yourself, Spirit might intervene, call a spiritual intervention or divine intervention. What that means is that if you didn't work on it, Spirit will have no choice but to help you by doing that for you. So you might encounter issues with your family, work, your environment, anything, relationships with others. And when you do that, be aware that this is designed for you to go to a new one and work on the old one and face the new one. And also be aware what needs to be broken down to rebuild a better structure. Tower moments happen very often for me because there are lots of things that I needed to work on, and sometimes there were things that I didn't work on, so it just comes naturally. So I just encountered another one recently. It's just a matter of working through it. So after the Tower moment, I could see that there's a period of new found balance, peace, and calmness. That means that you've addressed all the old issues, and you may meet also a new soulmate. And I've read another card now. I picked up another card that you're balancing as well, and you still need to find things to also go through, as in adapt to new changes. Be aware that also, not be aware, know that happiness is going to end up with you, because once you've addressed those issues, it's going to come up. And so there may be also a newfound relationship that's long-term, and maybe reunions as well. Let's see if there's anything else. There's some endings because of the Tower moment, and the problem was that there was a betrayal. Someone betrayed you, and there was an ending, an abrupt ending. So know that all this is designed to help you to go to a brand new area, because nothing stays the same. It's been going on for too long. So the divine has intervened. Spirit has a plan for you and protecting you. And it's time for you to harvest new things. And the people that have done you harm is going to go through their karmic justice. But it's not something that you need to work on. So Spirit has left you the best for last. And know that anything that is not happy or nice or pleasant is going to go away. A lot of people are going to watch you succeed, because you're rapidly changing, and it's like going through a very, very intense flight, or something that's going through very fast. You need to be hanging on to it and knowing that you land well. So your isolation was a necessary part of your spiritual growth. You're still going through that, and you will still continue to have a bit more isolation. There's a new learning that's coming up for you. So know that that is very good for you for long term. Okay. So I've also got a very good news on the way, and new beginnings, and laying out new foundations. So that's after what I said about the Tower moment. So excellent prospects are coming. So I hope you find this video very helpful. I've been meaning to do longer videos, but it's just that with the shorts, it's a lot easier to give you those quick messages on a regular basis, rather than long videos once a week, or at least, you know. So this might be helpful for you. If you'd like to give me some feedback, I'd really welcome that. And I hope to hear from you soon. Bye for now, Collective.